All right, folks, welcome to the Smart Art Business Podcast. My name is Rachel Wilkins. Delighted to be here today. I have Alon with me. Alon is the 90X CEO, and he's joining me today right before he's heading out on a business trip. So thank you, Alon, for joining me last minute. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy we were able to make it happen because all of my other podcasts are scheduled to May. It's one of the goals that we set this quarter is to really be on the. Last year I was over 100 shows, and my goal is to reach over 200 this year. So
That's an
I'm really excited.
amazing fate. We're going to be talking today about goal setting, something that is really a powerful tool that folks can use when they're trying to grow a business and trying to reach more people. I'm going to talk specifically about something that you have, which is the 5 pillars of goal setting. But before we
Yes.
do that, I would love to just get a little backstory on you. Now, I know that you're from Israel originally. I did my research and I found out that you moved to the US with nothing in your pocket, no money. And since
No
then,
green card, no
no green,
nothing.
no green card. I have a story about that too, but that's for another day. No green card, no money, no connections, which is a big one. And
Yeah.
somehow you were able to make a 6-figure business. Tell us a
Yeah,
little
not
bit more.
somehow. It's not somehow.
It
But
wasn't
yeah,
magical.
exactly. It's not. Yeah. So I did have some family, and that was the good thing. But arriving over here about 25, 26 years ago after serving 3 years in the Israeli Air Force in Israel, which I have everything. I mean, it's a great country to live in. So I didn't need anything, but I always had a bigger vision of doing more with myself than just doing what all my, what the standard is, get married, work, house, mortgage, whatever. But I decided to move here after travel. And, being that I didn't have a green card and I was a student, I mean, the only job I can land is really picking up trash for $5.25. And that's what I did for about 3 years while going to school to maintain my student visa. And at night, I got another job, and that was cleaning up shopping centers for about $10 an hour. And that's what I did for literally for 10 years. But it's not somehow, like I said, I always worked from a vision. I'm a visual person. I feel that I'm blessed because not that I'm just a great business owner and businessman and an entrepreneur, but I'm also an artist. And I think when you have these two, you can really make everything you want. Now, some people are only an artist. Some people are only in business. Some people don't like sell. And I think that's the thing is most people are scared of selling. Okay. Especially if they're an artist, they're like, I'm an artist. I don't talk money. And that's the wrong thing. So you got to shift that mindset if you want to be an artist and be successful. I mean, yes, I understand that art will sell itself. But if you can combine both, or at least don't be scared of both, it will happen. So going back to the story, I after I was able to work, I created an insurance business, which I made into a 6-figure, a construction business, which I made into 7 figures. And 2010, I started a photography business. I started from scratch again. I started a photography business with no experience, never been an assistant, nothing. I didn't have a portfolio, like nothing. I found myself like starting from zero. And within 10 months, I was able to create that a 6-figure business towards the end. Like it wasn't started from the beginning. Like the first 6 months I was working for like free, just creating a portfolio and barely making it. But I had a vision. And my vision was to be the best in what I do. In anything that I've done, I wanted to be the best. I mean, I didn't want to be just making it. I wanted to be the best. And I'm looking to my right and I just have one trophy left because I threw all of them away. I mean, I was a top wedding photographer and corporate photographer in San Diego for 3 years in a row, 14, 15, 16. And I end up making about almost $400,000 in sales in photography. And whoever's an artist in photography, that's pure profit most of the time, because you don't have a product or anything else. It's just a service. But I always had a vision. Like I wanted to make this happen. I wanted to make this happen. And no was not an option. It was every time I got a no, and I got a ton of them. I swear to you guys, as a photographer, when I started, I emailed over 100 photographers saying, hey, I would like to pick up your bag for free, just so I can learn what they're doing, because I don't even know how it works. What do you do first? You meet a client. What's the right price? How do you like? I didn't know anything, guys, like nothing. And like most of your listeners who are artists, we start from scratch, a blank canvas, and having a vision, which most of your listeners should have, because as being an artist, that's the one thing we all have in common is we can create a vision. Yeah. And fast forward, I was able to, create a successful photography business. But back in 2014, even though I was a successful photographer, I always wanted to do more. And I was like, how can I take what I've applied for the past 15 years and put it into one place so that I can work from it every day, because not just to be all over the place, just having a product, a planner. And I started looking for another planner and another planner, and couldn't find anything that actually has. Everybody has, what's your goal? What's your 5-year goal? What's your 10-year goal? Well, who cares if you can't even reach your weekly goal? So that was me, at least. And after 3 years of procrastination, which I'm sure a lot of people over here knows what procrastination is, I decided to finally launch 90X and close down my photography business in 2018, 2019, which was a very bold move, because somebody that makes 400,000 in photography does not shut it down when you're in the peak and you consider the top photographer. But I wanted to do more than trade time for money. And that's where it all kicked in. But, and 90X was born. So let's talk a little bit about, maybe you have questions, but we can talk about.
I just want to circle back on two things. Actually, one of the things that I think is really crucial, and I hear this a lot lately, especially with what's happening in kind of the digital world, and a lot of artists are switching into the NFT space, and there's all this change happening. People talk about ideas, and ideas being original, and being a visionary is all you need. You and I are both members of a pretty high-end business masterclass, right? We're both in this coaching program, which is how we connected. Everybody that I see that has this measurable success is not just a visionary, they're an action taker. Those two things are essential. You cannot just be a visionary and expect opportunities to land in your lap, and you can't be an action taker without the vision. So talk to us a little bit about that. How important action has been in your business and your success.
Yeah, so I've encountered a lot of people. I coach a lot of people one-on-one, and I have a membership as well that I work with people. And yeah, you can have ideas. Everybody has ideas. Everybody has a vision. It's like a wish and wish and wish, and you can keep wishing until tomorrow. One of the things that I feel that helped me is when I had an idea, I executed it the same second. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. I had an idea. I started by writing down my vision. I started by taking that first action step. Action stakes doesn't mean you have to do a lot. It means that you just have to take one action towards the direction of your idea, of your vision. That's all it takes. It doesn't take, like, you don't need to know all of them. And we'll talk about the process. You don't need to know everything. You just need to take that first step. Maybe it's like, I'm just going to draft down that idea. I'm just going to research if that name of my business that I want is it. And maybe I'm just going to, it's just one action, because as soon as you take one action and one action and one action, it's going to create a momentum of a snowball that's going to lead you in the right direction. It might be wrong in the beginning, but you'll be moving forward. Or you can just think about it and go watch Netflix, and that's about it. I mean, and that's what people do.
Right. And there's a lot of people that do that and then expect different results. Like and that's one of the things where I think social media has been a little damaging, because this kind of influencer culture, and we see these people that are having these success, and you only see the glamorous side. You only see the celebration. You only see those winning moments. Nobody sees or shows the grind that goes on behind the scenes. And I know just from knowing you very briefly, like you said, you've been on 100 episodes of a pod. Like, that's a goal. That is hard work. That is showing up every day in your business. So I think it's kind of sad that we don't see that in the social media space as much as we really should.
Exactly. I agree with that. I also have a different definition for success for everybody. So, I mean, for me, it's define what success means to you. Mm-hmm. Because just by looking at what so-and-so have, or you have, or I have, or whatever has, that doesn't mean that that's what you need. Doesn't mean that that's the formula. That doesn't mean for you waking up in the morning, reading a book, exercising, doing all that, you will be successful. It doesn't mean that. And that's what social media tells us. Join this course, do this, and you'll be successful. Hell no. You got to show up. You got to believe in your vision, and you got to start taking action and define what success means to you. I am wicked successful in my life because I've defined my success. So it doesn't mean because I have $10 million or 1 million or 10,000, I'm successful. It means what success means to me, spending more time with my family, the people that matters, creating memories, doing what I love doing. I'm successful. Can somebody say that I'm not? No. So define your success first. Don't worry about social media, but you got to take action. Mm-hmm. You got to take action.
How important do you feel to be teachable as well? Because I think a lot of people look at successful people and they kind of put them on a pedestal and they say, oh, that, they did it all by themselves. Like, we know as business professionals that that's not true. How important?
Nobody has done anything by himself.
Right. How important has it been to you to kind of remain coachable, remain teachable? And do you still make that a part of your annual plan? Do you still invest in courses in coaching yourself?
All day long. I mean, I've invested, I think in the past 3 years, over 60 grand in coaching. I was in Next Level with James for 2 years. And, I've invested a lot because I want to be the dumbest person in the room. I want to be the one that doesn't know anything, that asks the most questions, and surround myself with the smartest people. That's what I want to be. Because not the other way around. Because I'm smarter than everybody, then I'm in the wrong room. If I know everything, then I'm in the wrong room. If I have all the answers, I'm in the wrong room. I need to grow and go to the next place, to the next level, because there's always something to learn. I listen to podcasts. I mean, everything that I can surround myself that will give me and feed me more information, that I don't want to consider myself smart. And if you can do that, that's one direction towards your growth. So definitely invest in courses and coaching and everything else. Heck, the planner was not, I could not create the planner without having a coach. That's the first step I did, is I hired a coach, somebody that will hold me accountable, that I can bring this product to life. That's the first step I did. I called my friend, and I went to coaching school back in 2008, CTI, Coaching Training Institute, which most people didn't even know what coaching is. I went to coaching school for a year in San Francisco, and that's why I was able to call one of the coaches over there and say, hey, would you coach me? Because I want to create this product. They don't need to know anything about the product. They just need to hold you accountable and help you and slap you around when you need to move forward. I have a friend right now as we speak, and she literally slaps me around every other day. She yells at me and slaps me around every other day. And I love her for that, because I don't want to hear the good things. I know the good things. I need to know what I need to do to grow. And if you're one of those that, well, I know it all, I don't want to be coachable, don't tell me, what do you know? That's not true. And you just keep saying a story over and over again, then you're probably much getting the same results. So try something different.
Accountability is everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. All right. So let's talk about these 5 pillars. Tell us what the 5 pillars of goal setting are, and let's talk a little bit about the planner that you have.
Yeah. So the 90X system is built under this minimalistic foundation of, anything and everything is possible for you if you really want to do it. And the first step is easy. And being you guys all are, most of people of your listeners are artists or trying to create some form, is start with the simple thing of creating a vision. Cost you nothing. You don't have to do anything. Close your eyes. What is it that you want? So if we're talking specifically 90 days, because that's the way we work in 90 days, the system itself at least, what do I want to accomplish in the next 90 days if anything and everything was possible for me, which it is? What do I want? So if it was just assuming, let's say we want to create a planner, a pen, a podcast, whatever, see it, feel it in your mind before it's done. Any product that was created and it's on earth was created in their mind before it was created in actual reality. Whether it's a course, whether it's a membership, you have to see it done in your mind. If you want to be a coach, if you want to see your art in exhibits, if you want to see your art selling online, if you want to see your art on t-shirt, you got to see it in your mind first. You agree?
Absolutely.
That's the first step. Easy. That's the first step. If you got that and you can see that, and let's add a bonus, let's add a kicker to it. Once you have that vision, it doesn't have to be perfect, because it's always going to add more things, right? It's a vision and we cannot just capture it. Try to capture a screenshot of it. There's a photo that you can go to it multiple times throughout the day when you feel like quitting, just extra stuff. But something that you have the vision, create a screenshot in your mind that you can see. I could see my plan. I could see it, right? So I can close my eyes, see it, go next, go. And if you can do that throughout the day multiple times, then you're already moving. That's the first action towards moving. Second step is be that person right now. Work from that vision. Don't wait for it. So if, for instance, if I wanted to create a 6 figures, I'm going to feel like I already have 6 figures in my pocket. When I created my photography business, heck, I was already the top rated photographer. Can somebody argue with me? I would show up like that person. I would show up, talk, walk like that person right now. Not when I get there, right now. And if you can act, behave, and be that person right now, you're already halfway there. And that's what people miss. They say, when I will get to that place, I will be happy. When I will get to the $1 million, I will be a millionaire. What's stopping you from being that person right now? Great analogy is, look at Oscar winner actors or actresses. They play a role of a person that they're not, but they make you believe that sometimes that's all you remember about them. And they are that person, even though they're not. We know that, obviously, right? Because it's a movie. So be that in your life. Be that person you want to be right now, lining up, and it has to align with your vision. So you can't think one thing and do something else, right? It has to line up. And that's the step 2. Pretty easy. Step 3, write down your goal of your vision as it's already accomplished. Because if you can already see it, it's already done. Does it make sense? It's easy steps. I mean, whether you have the plan or not, I told you, you can get a black 8x4 paper and just do it all. Have your vision, be that person, write the goal that's already accomplished. So don't say, I would like to have my art exhibited in, I don't know, New York Museum. I'm just saying, because I don't have any art, so I don't have anything exhibited anywhere. I want to create a website with art. No, it's March, whatever it is right now. It's April. So like August 1st, I already have 100 pieces of my art online. I already have my art selling on t-shirts. Like, be that person, because if you're already seeing that vision, if you're already working from that place, there's nothing stopping you for actually writing the goal. It all has to align the same way.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Am I going too fast?
No, this is perfect. And I think most of our listeners are visionaries when it comes to their creativity, but there's this fear when it comes to business, when it comes to business goals and business visions.
Exactly. But we haven't even talked about selling or creating or doing or nothing. Notice, all I said is create a vision, believe that you are the person, and write the goal. That's it. There's no business part. You don't have to talk to anybody even. It's really that easy. It's really that easy, because if you can see that, believe that, and write it and work from that place, you've done, your job is done. It's like planting a tree, putting the water. You don't go over there next day and say, where's my fruit? The universe is going to kick in and going to do its job.
Why is it, do you think, that so many people struggle with it? When you say it like that, it's so black and white and seems so simple, right? To just think it, be it, write it down, right? But so many people are so afraid. What do you think that fear, where do you think that fear comes from?
So many ways. I mean, fear of success, fear of their past. I've done it before, it didn't work. You know, just a million of things that happen. But all I'm saying is give yourself the opportunity to fail for the next 90 days. Try something different. Just work on the place. But you gotta align. You gotta be aligned. Don't worry about the money, because the money does not come from me or you. I'm not paying you anything. I'm not giving you anything. If somebody buys a planet, they're not paying it to me. The money came through the universe, not through them. It's just there, just a form of the transaction. I don't focus on the money. I focus on people. I don't focus on making money. I focus on helping people. As an artist, your focus should not be about, I want to sell this for 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Your focus should be is to create and give it to somebody that's going to see your art and say, wow, I resonate with it. I want it. And they're going to pay. So if you focus on the money, you're doing it wrong. Focus on the people. And that's what shifted when I started the company. My focus was selling planner as much as I can, making as much as I can money. That was my goal. One goal, make as much money as I can. And then it didn't work. I was selling. I was making money because I'm a good salesperson. But it was hard. It wasn't smooth, right? You see the difference?
Yep.
And when I said, you know what, let it go. Just focus on helping people have better lives, achieve their goals, you know, focus on that. Forget the money part. Like, I'm not saying forget, don't charge. I'm just saying don't focus on that and just focus on helping people. When you do it organically, when you're really authentically trying to help and trying to make the world a better place and help people. One of the reasons I created the plan is because I didn't have support, guidance, and help. So I said, by having this planner, I could help people have support, guidance, and help, you know? And that's when things shifted. Look, the first year we did 70 grand, the second year, 250, the third year, 435. Wow. The last year was bad, but Corona hit, but and 180 members canceled within a month. But that's okay. But still, it was still a profitable year. But you see what I'm saying? It's everybody's at the same graph. But so don't focus on the money. So now the fourth pillar or the fourth step, call it whatever makes it easier to remember, is find out the reason why. Why do you want that goal? Why do you want that vision? Why? It is so important, because without that why, don't even begin. If you don't have a reason why, if your reason is because I want to make money, then go get a 9-to-5 job and make money.
Yeah.
If your reason is because so-and-so did it, then go work for them. If your reason is whatever, your reason has to push you forward, has to give you the momentum when you're about to quit. And if you can find a strong enough reason why you want to create this art, why you want to sell this, whatever the vision is of your vision is, why do I want to create this planner? I told you, when my goal was to make money. But before that, it was like I really wanted something organized in one place. But then, and it's okay for your vision to change and grow with you.
What is your why today?
So my biggest why, which is driving me to do what I do, is my grandfather passed away a long time ago, but he was the one person that really, as a kid, I remember him in my mind. I'm actually getting chills. And he really helped me. And he was it was a humble person, a very good, authentic person. Like, it was not money. It was always about helping and creating. And he's the one person I remember every day throughout my life. And I mean, he's passed away like 20 years ago, even more. And he was a religious person, a Jewish person. And my why is to build a synagogue, write it under his name, and donate it. That's my biggest why.
Wow.
So that's why I'm doing this, is to really have the funds to be able to buy a place, convert it into a synagogue, put his name on it, and donate it to whoever wants to take care of it. Not me. I don't want to be a rabbi or anything like that. And so that's my biggest why, that pushes me every day to do what I do. So find your 90-day why. What's that?
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. It's so lovely.
Yeah, well, because it has to be more than just money.
Yeah.
It has to be more than, because once we understand that money is a form, it's something that we have no control, that comes from all direction. You always have money come into your bank account. One thing that's more valuable than money for me is time, because time will never be deposited into your bank account. Mm-hmm. So use your time wisely.
And I think it's just to circle back. I think it's interesting that you talked about, not wanting to trade time for money anymore, like getting to that point. Like, people, especially in this community, people undervalue their time so much. And I'm often talking in my coaching programs about, well, how, don't just price your work based on the materials. Like, how many hours did you spend going shopping for the materials, sitting in your studio, brainstorming the idea, your experience? All of that time is valuable. And I think people are just so afraid to put a price on that.
It's the most valuable thing. I mean, like, literally, because you will not get more time deposited. Everybody has a timer, and it's all going downhill. And we don't know when it's going to end. So use your time wisely. That's why I said my success is spending more time with my kids, with my family. I see my kids every morning, and I see them when they come back from school. Not the other way around. Every day, I spend as much time as I can with them, creating as much memories as I can, because that's what fills me. Now, some people will say that doesn't. Great, go surfing, whatever. I don't care. Whatever time provides you happiness, remember that that's the one thing that will not be able to replace. If you had 30 seconds to live, you won't. I don't think you would focus on, shit, I could have done more money. Like, I don't think so, but I might. I could be wrong. I know, not me. But so that's what I'm saying, is focus on the time. That's what I said. So far, there's no business involved in what we just spoke about, because it's nothing to do with business where you can work from that place, especially if you're an artist and you're scared of selling. If you believe in your work, if you believe that your art is going to help somebody create a vision, make their day better, they will buy. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. I know I do. So they will buy. So don't try to convince, don't try to be a salesperson, because you're not selling. Go sell, yeah, be a car salesman. That's fine. That's their job, is to sell you a car, by providing value. So this is art. It has no price. That's so hard about art. There is no price tag. It's something that you created, and, somebody will buy. So those are your 4 steps. So find your strong why, guys. You saw how strong mine is. At least I think it's my why. It's my strong why. Obviously, I have shorter whys, 90-day whys, where we work on things. But that's the one that pushes me when I'm about, what, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to go work for somebody. I'm going to get a good salary, retire in 20 years, and that's it. Like, hell no. So that doesn't work for me. Yeah. The 5th step is the easiest step, but most people quit. Can you guess which one that is?
That's got to be asking for the sale or taking the action, right?
The action. We're not talking about sales even.
The doing part.
The doing part. So if you, because most people, I don't know what the right action is. Well, what if I'm going to take this action? I'm going to fail. Well, I've already tried this. So-and-so already tried that. I don't even know how to create a website. What name? What's the right name? How is the art? Like, that's all they do. So I have 4 boys. I have a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, well, almost 4 and 5, and then I have a 14 and an 18. Those 2 small ones, if I give them a piece of paper, as soon as I put the piece of paper down, they're going to start drawing. They're going to find something to draw. If they can't find, they will figure it out. They will start drawing. Okay, and this is a great example for you guys artists. They're going to start drawing. I guarantee you right now, if I give anybody a piece of paper in the audience that's a listener, and I'm saying draw, the first thing they're going to ask me is like, well, hold on, dude, what do you want me to draw? You want a house, a car? Do you want colors? Like, can you be more specific? All I said is draw. Why can't you just draw? And that's the difference between my kids and any kid because they're not working from past experiences, past beliefs. They just get going. And us as an adult, you're like, hold on, we need the answer. We need the steps. Can you give us the map? Tell us what to do right, how to do it. Do you see what I'm going with?
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is draw. All I'm saying is take action. Who cares if it's the right action, the wrong action? Obviously, if you're trying to do an art and trying to create an art, you're not going to go watch Netflix. That's not the right action, right? I mean, I'm just talking about action towards your goal. That all that should matter. Take one action a day towards your goal. So when I say vision, working from vision, goal, why, and action, start writing down a list of actions that will line up with your goal. Just a list. You don't have to do them all today, not tomorrow, and you don't need to write the right steps. Most of us have driven from one place to the other. I've driven a lot from San Diego to LA. I can get into the car and drive. Most of you guys will do the same. You will get into the car and you just drive. You don't have to, before you drive, say, hold on, let me write down all the Starbucks, McDonald's, gas station, rest areas, and the mile marker, and where I'm going to stop to fill up. Why? Because you trust that along the way, those will reveal themselves as you need them. A gas station, a Starbucks, a restroom, a rest area, whatever, right? Or wrong. I mean, you have never stopped and planned everything. I mean, maybe people do. I don't think so. If it's a drive like that, because you trust, so the same thing in your action. Just take the right action, and then another action, and then another action, and you might take the wrong turn, and the universe will say, hey, buddy, this is the door you want to go, and you're going to move this way, and another time, until it just creates clarity. Because the more action you take, the more clarity you will have. And that's all. This is it. You're done. If you can accomplish these 5 things, but work for them every day from that place, I guarantee that you will be in a different place in 90 days from today. Guaranteed, 100%.
I mean, even just thinking about like that process, like in my own like life, if I was to say, okay, for just even 15 minutes a day, I'm going to do one thing towards that goal, like the amount of time that adds up to over a 90-day period is just, it's immense. It's a big chunk of time. I mean, you're talking like several hours a week, you know, that contributes to something that you were otherwise probably just putting on a back shelf. So
yeah, but the key word is what you said is towards that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Your action has to be towards that goal, not a to-do list, not things that don't matter, towards that goal. And guaranteed, if you take the 15, like you said, and then another 15, and then it's going to turn to 20, and then 30, and then 1 hour, and then a week, because you're like, oh, wow, this is really working. I'm going to get excited, right?
Yep.
But towards that goal. And that's the key word, because a lot of people spend time on the to-do list. I don't have a to-do list. I don't even answer my emails, okay? Because I have Zoe, and she does that because it's not worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you're, God forbid, not worth it. It's not worth my time. Right. I have somebody that is delegated to that we respond. My time is to create a vision, to work on a business, to motivate my guys, to do what I want to do, to go spend time with my family. That's what's worth. And then I delegate as much as I can. Most people in the business when they begin, it's like, I'm going to do it all. I'm going to be the employee of the business. Just be honest with yourself. Are you the employee or the CEO or the creator? Which are you? Because if you're also writing and putting your website and building it and designing it and selling it and wrapping and shipping and taking it to the mail and doing all and writing your books and doing everything, then you're pretty much the employee that gets paid differently, different hours. Or be the visionary, which you should be, and hire small, get somebody to delegate to, maybe something you don't like. So if we want to talk a little bit productivity, create a list of all the things you don't like to do in your business and the things that you like to do in the business, and start hiring small from the things that you don't like to do, so you can get that back time to the column that you like doing.
And I think there's this fear in my community about hiring out, about outsourcing, because it's like, oh, that's unobtainable. That only happens to people who are successful. And it's really a paradigm shift, because generally what happens is the people that are successful, like yourself, like, I mean, in a certain way, myself as well, you know, we've already outsourced those kind of smaller tasks that we don't like to do. And that's,
I don't like to do anything.
Right. That's why we've freed up our time to be able to do things like this, have these conversations, and put our visions into action. Just as, I guess, for my audience right now, if they're thinking, okay, with this one specific task that I really hate to do, but I know it's essential for my business. I'm thinking about social media right off the top of my head. It's essential for artists to have their brand out there, to be promoting, to have their work regularly posted on social media, but it's tedious for a lot of people. what would be your first action step that perhaps somebody could take to get that process going?
Yeah, besides just do it. I mean, like, so yeah, no, besides that, because that's obviously a given, but let's talk about it for a second, because I think it's important. It doesn't have to be just social media, any task. Think about it. You have, and I don't know if most people are working a 9 to 5 and doing the art on the side, whatever it may be. If you have 2 hours that you're spending a day on your business, ask yourself, is it worth it for me? What is the money generating activity that I should do that's going to help me with the business? Is it posting on social media or creating the art? Obviously, I think it should be creating the art, right? Because that's the product you need to sell, to put out there. And if you're hiring somebody or agency or a VA or somebody to post, obviously it has to align the content with you on social media. How much time are you getting back to work on the business? Mm-hmm. And if you can create that graph for yourself in a week, or say, okay, great. If I'm spending 7 hours on my business, on social media, trying to post and write and everything, but then I had that 7 hours back into my business for me to be the visionary, how much more can I create? Right? If I spend 3 hours a day answering emails and 3 hours a day printing orders, then it's 6 hours that I don't have, creating a bigger vision and working on my big why and being on podcast that's going to be listened by thousands and thousands of people. Mm-hmm. That's time for me that's well spent. This is work for me, infinity number. I mean, there's not like a dollar amount I can put on it, because I don't know who's going to listen to it at what time and what that's going to generate. Right. So for me to be on podcast, it's most valuable. Some people say, that's your goal. I was like, hey, that's my goal. You go do your thing. I'll do mine. That's my goal. Yeah. My goal is to be on 200, because then I've been on 200 different people's. And then it's just huge. People don't see the opportunity, but it's huge. So look, before you want to hire, always ask yourself, do I like doing it or not? And if you love doing it, then you do it. If you don't love doing it, then hire small, somebody to post once a week. You need to get your time back. That's what you need, because we all have 24 hours and 7 days. We don't. I mean, unless you guys have more, then tell me how you did it. But we all have 24 hours. So ask yourself, if I'm about to spend those 2, 3, 4 hours doing this, is that a money generating activity? Is that worth for me? Or can I hire somebody for $15, $20, $30, $40 an hour to do that? And then that gives me the time to work, So that's the only thing I can tell you. Look, there's no other way around it. Mm-hmm. There's no other way around it. Yes, everybody in their business, I know how to do it the best, and nobody else. And I don't want to train anybody. I don't have the time to train him. Obviously, you don't have the time to train him because you're doing it yourself. Yep. But if you sit and train, then you don't have to do it yourself. Zoe over here, she knows everything. She knows how to print. She knows how to answer. She knows the content, the post. I mean, she does it all. The Kajabi stuff that we do. William, the same thing. And I don't have a team of 35 people. Mm-hmm. It's me and 2 more people. And then I have a lot of subs that I hire out. Do this, you do that, you do this. So it's really about start hiring. Take the first step, 1 hour a week, and don't say I don't have the money, because you will not have the money. Mm-hmm. If you say I don't have the money, you got it right. You don't have the money. Mm-hmm. Ask yourself a different question.
A lot of this is, really talking about kind of the mindset and manifestation, right? A lot of the people's success is based primarily in a mindset shift. You're telling yourself this same messaging that I'm not going to be successful. I can't afford that. I can't price at this. I can't. That's going to manifest, right? I mean, that is.
You're right. You're 100% right. If you're saying you can't, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I'm not successful, I'm not so-and-so, you 100% right. I agree with you. You're not.
Yep.
Because that's what you just said. So I'm agreeing with you. But that's what I said. If you go back to the step 2, is working from that place that you want to be, that person you want to be, your future you, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Whatever it takes to act, think, and be that person right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, my thing was always driving an Audi. That was like my thing. I'm not talking about back then, like 10 years ago. So I would get into my crappy car and I would envision it's an Audi. I went to an Audi dealership. I got the brochure. I put it over here every time I turned the engine. And guess what? Within a year, I had an Audi. And I was like, this was so easy, because the universe, seriously, I'm not kidding. I bought a house in LA while we have a house in San Diego, and this is California. I mean, I have a shack for $700,000. It's a shack. You can push it and it falls over. It's California, guys, in LA. But I had a vision that I want to make it happen in 21 days. And I did that in 19 days because I work from the place of believing. So anything you want is available for you. Mm-hmm. And you are the only person that stopped being you. You are the only person, not me, not you, nobody else. You are the only person that's stopping you. So watch what you say to yourself.
It's funny that you bring up the Audi, because I had drove an Audi TT when I was 19 back in the UK. and I loved it. And I had it for like 2 weeks. It was a company car. And I said to myself, I'm going to have one. I'm going to have one. I'm going to have one. I'm going to have one for years. Never happened. Never happened. I actually put it on a manifest board. I cut out a picture and I stuck it on like a vision board. And 3 years ago, I said, I'm going to get it. I'm going to make it happen. It might not be brand new out of the showroom, but I'm going to make it happen. And I looked at what I could buy, one that was kind of 9 years old, looked at, what I could realistically afford, set myself a financial target. And I did it and I bought it. And I still have my little Audi downstairs. And every day I am grateful because I know I made that happen.
Exactly. And you know what, you said one thing over there, and that's exactly the steps. That's exactly the steps is watch what you say, how you say it, be kind to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so many times not kind to myself. I'm a loser, I'm stupid, I'm this. I'm like, no. Hold on. Would you talk like that to somebody else? No. Then why would we talk that to yourself?
Yeah.
So be kind to yourself and be grateful. I think that's one of the things is gratitude. Actually, our launch planner is a brand new planner that we created called the Launch by 90X, helping people create a business within 90 days. The first thing we start is, what are we grateful for every day? Could be the water that you drink, having an air condition, not having an air condition, having a heater, being able to be healthy. Walk. It doesn't have to be big things, small things. Train yourself to be grateful. And then the other side is affirmation, So it's really not about working on the business, about working on yourself, and be kind, be honest with yourself. I'm really working from the place that if I'm saying something back to myself, I always say, would I say that to somebody, Zoe, somebody that's close to me? No. Then why would you say it to yourself?
Yep.
And it's hard. It's hard. Look, it's a mindset thing. And that's why you guys need to be belonging to groups and communities like yourself, Rachel, is to help and train that mindset, because it's all a muscle.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
1,000% agree. So just to touch on this, because there are some things that are kind of beyond our control. Like I'm looking back at last year. I mean, this was something that just sideswiped so many people, shut down so many businesses, and really changed the focus of where a lot of our community were spending their time. How do you contend with these kind of variables that when they inevitably land in your lap? How do you stay focused? What are some tips that you could share with our community?
Yeah, I work from the place. Last year, exactly. That's what happened. Actually, I had the best time in Corona. Didn't make a lot of money, but I had the best time because I spent so much time on the beach with the kids, like every day almost. And literally for 3 months, almost every day we were on the beach. But I also work from the place, I'm going to do the best that I can do. That's the best that I can do today, and that's what I'm going to do. I am not in control of somebody placing an order, canceling, not cancel. I have no control over that. It's not my control. I just don't have that control over it. I can't say, hey, Rachel, you got to buy it. But give me a credit. Like, no, it's out of my control. So I'm going to do the best that I can do. This is the best that I can do today, and I'm going to be grateful that I can actually do that. And that's all I'm going to do, and I'm going to let it go. Now, if you're going to be, oh, sucks, I don't know what to do, I'm just going to be, and you're going to worry about it, that's what you're going to get. But if you know that you're going to show up no matter what, you're going to do the best that you can do, and when you decide to close shop and go do whatever, then do that. And that's the only thing that I did that helped me excel and actually do better and be happy and find so many different things that I love doing and create more things. One of the things that I do is, like I told you, I am an artist as well, but I don't draw, but I create some form of art. I create things. For me, it's an art. The box, the 365 inspiration box that we created, the launch planner was created during the Corona time. Because when I need to get focused, I go create things. I go for a walk, I go for a hike, and I go create things. Again, not attaching with who's going to buy. Nobody's buying. Like, it has nothing to do with anybody. I'm creating it for me. So create art for you. You're an artist. That's the easiest thing for you guys. Create the art for you. Don't worry about the business. But I always do the best that I can do. And this is the best that I can do today. And that's it. And if you believe that and you're good with that, you got it.
Fantastic advice. All right. So Alon, I want you to tell our audience where they can get these fabulous planners. We do have a little bit of a special. We have a code that we're going to share, but tell them where they can get them and how they can work with you and get more involved.
Sure. So our planners or our products, the 90X Goal Planners, are located on 90x.co. 90x.co. Very easy, 5 letters. 90x.co. We gave your audience a 25% off code, so it's Action Taker 25, right?
Yep.
That's the code that you can use in checkout. And I'm on Instagram, so 90X Goal Planner on Instagram. So definitely follow us and let us know. you're going to announce later on the giveaway. You want to do
Yep, we're
that?
going to do a little giveaway as well, folks. So encouraging you to share this episode, grab a screenshot, DM it to me, Rachel Wilkins Biz, and then we're going to pick 1 or 2 winners at random as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So definitely give yourself, but if you don't want to buy the planner, if you think that everything like, oh, this guy is about to selling, I'm not. Take what I gave you, take an A4 paper, take a wall, draw it on your door. I don't care. And use the steps and guarantee that you're going to try, that it's going to work. Give yourself the opportunity to fail for the first 90 days. Like failure is amazing. Give yourself the opportunity to fail, because when you work from the worst case, and this is another tip, that's the way I created the business, is I work from the worst case scenario. What's the worst that can happen? I'm going to create the planner, spend about 10 grand, hire a coach, lose about 80 days, and nobody's going to buy the planner. Nobody's going to buy it. That's the worst that could happen to me. That's the worst that can happen. But what's the upside? Right? I mean, we know. So I always work from that place as well. What's the worst that can happen? I put this course, I put this hour, nobody buys. Great. So what happened? Nothing. Move to the next. That's it. So working from the worst case scenario and giving yourself the opportunity to fail and get involved. Just start creating and start working from the vision and be that person right now, not next week, not tomorrow, not in the first of the month, right now.
You heard it here, folks. Fail fast and get right back on that horse. Set these goals and take action. Thank you so much, Alon. It's been wonderful having you on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, folks, this has been the Smart Art Business Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.